I like how my chair does this.
I know. Hi, I'm Elizabeth McLeod. I'm the author and illustrator of the Wild and Mystery Cards.
And I'm Sarasota, and I'm a life artist.
And we're here today. It's interesting. We are wanting to talk about prayer.
Yeah.
And just before we started, we did a little prayer just to center ourselves and to bring ourselves into sort of the present moment with one another so that we could be present with you. Part of that is because it's been a longer day and we've been working together, and now we're sort of in a position where we want to be making sure that we are very much who we are as we tread into, I was going to say tread lightly, I'm not sure why, tread into this next episode. And so in praying, it was very interesting because as I prayed, the grandmothers came to me, and I felt like we were surrounded in circle and community, and we started to talk about community and prayer. And so now this is what we decided that would be really a wonderful thing to sort of discuss and see where we arrive.
Yeah, you know, it's so interesting. Prayer, I think, can be a trigger word for lots of people.
Yeah.
And yet, you know, meditation.
Well, just before you keep going, I just want to say, like, I remember way long ago when I started to do my own personal work, I had a teacher look at me. She was a shaman, and she said, "Do you pray?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" Like, I pray, because I thought I was supposed to do that, but I didn't. It had so much stigma attached to it, and I didn't really know what that meant. How do you pray? What do you do?
Yeah.
So anyways, carry on. I just wanted to say that, I've been there.
Totally, right? And, you know, just even the word has this physical reaction for many of us. I know for myself, you know, because I was concerned, like, how do I pray? Do I, you know, does that mean I get down at the foot of my bed and do I do this? And who do I pray to? And what do I say? And what do I pray for? And, you know, it's so interesting because Wayne Dyer used to say, and I heard this loud and clear in my own prayer about 5 months ago. Wayne Dyer used to say, the only prayer is thank you.
Beautiful.
And I got down, and for me, prayer looks all sorts of different ways. Sometimes I'm running, but it was one of those really rough moments for me, and I felt really emotionally stripped. And so I just got down on my floor, and I thought, okay, it's time, I've got to pray. And there was so much stuff going on for me, and I thought, what am I going to ask for? And I couldn't. You know, I talked about it before in the stories that I have everything I need. I couldn't ask for anything. And when I couldn't ask for anything, I just started saying, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And for about 15 minutes on my floor, I repeated thank you and just like what I call ugly cried. I mean, there was probably like snot coming out of my nose. But I really got it. You know, because our prayer is so heard.
Well, we're always being heard.
Yeah.
To think that we're not being seen and heard is actually, it's a fantasy because, you know, you're always being blessed.
Yes.
The blessing is always there. You can ask for the blessing, but you're always receiving the blessing.
Exactly.
But it takes a long time, like you said. For me, I mean, that moment that I told you about was long ago, but I remember the response that I had because it was a word of trigger. You're really right about that. And using cards and things like that, it can be like a prayer.
Yeah.
You know, you can be setting the intention for a prayer. The other thing too, I remember when my life was horrible. I had been very, very ill. I had almost died. I had a severe case of pneumonia and crossed over to the other side and came back, and I couldn't get really very well. And as I was living in the city, and I didn't know what to do, and I finally got to the sort of the end of the earth of myself.
Yes.
And I thought, I'll do anything. And I got down on my knees in the living room of my little apartment and said, I'll do anything. I will do anything. Please, I'll change anything. And I thought that would mean quit choir and stop my work and, you know, taking my course or whatever. I thought that's what it would be for me. And I got up and I was prepared to leave choir. Not that I really wanted to, but I was prepared for that because it was one of those visceral places that you come from, that line up and get met somewhere.
Yes.
Because you're right on with what you're wanting to do. Yeah. And it was a fascinating place because within a day or two, a friend of mine called and said, hey, I found this really cool apartment right by the water in Madeira Park. I'm like, I didn't even know. I said, where's that? I had no idea where it was. Within a week, I had gone up there. I was still very ill. Looked at the place. When I went up to the place, they said, you can have this apartment, but it wasn't really right. It had stairs up and it was on the highway. But this other one, I looked and said, well, I'd take that in a heartbeat. And they came to me, oh, by the way, that one just came up. So within a week, I had moved.
Yes.
A ferry ride away from where I was. After this prayer that happened, it changed my life.
Yes.
And then I really understood even deeper what it meant to really connect up with that and to connect up with your alignment with Source, with God, with the universe, and make that synchronicity, those requests, and realizing it's right there for us all the time.
Yes.
It's there. Yeah. And your prayer about gratitude, like the thank you, I do that every night. Every night when I go to bed, I think about it, but I don't just say thank you. I get very specific about what I'm grateful for. And then as that happens, I might think, oh, maybe I start with what I'd like or request, but I start to talk about with myself what I'm grateful for. Yeah. And it changes your whole world.
Yeah, I find myself doing that kind of all day long. I'm in my car and I'm grateful for a vehicle, and I'm grateful that my son is healthy, and I'm grateful for the beautiful place I get to live. And it's interesting that you say, like, that your prayer was, it was quite open-ended. Like, I'll do anything. And then very clearly,
like,
here's what there is to do.
And I got well.
Yeah.
So it was like when you really want it, you can state it. Yeah. And you can do this with the cards. Yeah. So if we were to make a prayer right now, my prayer is that I want to see what I need, maybe. I'm not sure what I need. Let me see what I need. How's that?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm going to fan them out because that's kind of what I feel like doing. And so what I need, these two both want to come out. So transmutation and freedom. So the transmutation is holding a diamond. So, it's kind of interesting because my life became very clear after that prayer and became very focused, and my health came back much, much better than what it was, even though I still struggled somewhat. But the transmutation, when you take a piece of coal is made clear under pressure, it becomes a diamond. And when you are able to see the diamond in yourself, you become free. So
absolutely.
That's mine, and my prayer right now would be this, which is totally on. Why don't you pull a card and see what what would your request be?
Temple.
So what does that mean for you?
I love this card, and I do love this card. Like, what my prayer is to remember what I'm here for, and that is to be the temple here, such that the possibility of something new can be on the planet.
It's beautiful, and in looking at the card too, and the writing of it, like, our body is a living temple of love. And when you think about it, our body is the temple from where we pray. Yeah. So this is our temple. This is our place where we will find the freedom, where we will transmute into the diamond that we are. So the temple card is really, it's like our altar. It's like our sacred space. It's like our church. It's like our living community around us, where we sit in community with other women. It's like our temple is what takes us where we're going.
Absolutely. And to honor ourselves as the temple.
So interesting that card is forward and freedom when we're talking about prayer. It's fascinating.
Absolutely.
And it's the color gold is the temple. It's beautiful, warm, relaxing, which is, a lot of people would say it's wealth.
Yeah.
And that's, when you have yourself, then you have that wealth.
Amen.
Awesome.
Amen. Yeah.
And so let's leave with that, and maybe take a moment as we part to just say a little prayer. Say grateful that we're here together. I thank you for being here. I totally adore you, and I'm so glad to be with you. And be present with this whole thing. And I'm glad that you're here too, and that we're able to have the opportunity to share all of this together, and hope to hear more from you about what you would wish for and what you would want from us in the future. So thank you.